Hey, welcome to the Maybe You're Like Me podcast with me, Mike Burns. Listen, I know we're all more alike than we care to think. We've all got dreams, we've all got hopes, but sometimes we can feel a little alone trying to navigate in this crazy world we live in. So, this podcast is all about you, and it's all about me and how maybe we're a little more alike than we care to think. Welcome to Maybe You're Like Me. On today's episode, we are talking to a brand new friend from down under. Yep, that's right. We're talking to a friend that we're just making from Australia. His name is Max, and he is so much fun. You're going to love this episode. And let's throw another shrimp on the barbie. Nope, never mind. Let's enjoy this conversation with Max. Max, thank you so much for being here. This is so much fun. You are literally on the other side of the world, and this is so cool that we're getting to talk face to face via computers. Gotta love computers. That's
Technology,
fantastic. How are you doing, man?
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It's a Saturday morning where I'm at, so I think it's your Friday. But I just really, first of all, I just really appreciate the opportunity and hit me up to come have a chat with you. It means the world to me, dude.
Yeah, this is super fun for me. Also, is there anything you want to tell us from the future? You are tomorrow somehow, so.
Oh, well, let's not get too deep and
time travel.
Too nerdy straight off the bat. But I guess time is a social construct, isn't it? So I'm not really from the future. But,
you are.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying. No, nothing to share really. I had a great sleep. I don't know if that counts for Max in the past over on your end. But yeah, that's about it, mate.
You look well rested. You look great. I
was about to say, mate, it's bloody early for me to get up this time on a Saturday, so I appreciate it.
You look good. You're drinking some tea or coffee, waking up. Yeah, good on you. So I'm happy that you're here and awake at this point. Thanks for doing this, man.
That's all right. I said, appreciate it.
The way that we first bumped into each other is actually, I bumped into you on TikTok of all places. And it's crazy the world we live in, that somebody that is literally 14 hours ahead of me that I could find and meet on the internet. And I threw a message out to you on the internet, and you've been so kind to respond and to do this. And so I'm just blown away. Thank you so much. But let's talk about this. So the podcast is called Maybe You're Like Me. And so we're trying to find people, and on my own selfish purposes, I want to find out if people are like me. And so it's even more fun for me that I'm getting to find out if there's somebody that's even tangentially like me on the other side of the planet. So thanks for being here. All right. Mate,
I was just going to interject quickly and definitely tell me to shut up and don't interrupt you, because I'm holding myself back. I'm ready to go. But when you reached out and I heard the concept of the podcast, rather than just having a chat or it was something in particular, like the actual idea of Maybe You Like Me and you're just trying to reach out to people, I don't know. I mean, there's so many podcasts now, but I haven't come across any podcast with that kind of concept, and I mean it. I'm not just saying it for the sake of giving you a pat on the back, stroke your ego, but I think that's such a cool concept, man. I really do.
Well, thank you, man. That means a lot. And it's good to know that I've got a fan, at least one internationally. It feels good. So
from down under for sure, man.
All right. So if people haven't bumped into you on TikTok yet or know anything about you, like, give us the information. Who is Max?
Sure. So as far from a content point of view, when you're just talking about TikTok exclusively, a majority of my content pretty much is just me documenting the repairs that I do. So whether that's my business, I've been running a tech business for the last 7 years, where it started off just doing simple repairs. So I started off fixing like keyboards, doing virus removals, data recoveries, all the simple stuff that doesn't really take too much money to begin with. And then from that, the money that I made, without being too silly in my own personal life, hopefully I reinvested it into the business. And then eventually got to the point where now I'm doing board level repair, so you're talking water damage, devices that just turned off one day, whether it's a short circuit or you name it. If there's a problem with it that's beyond modular part replacement, so just swapping out a screen or a power supply, that's where I step into it. And I still do the simple stuff as well. But on top of that, 2 years ago, TikTok, I don't know where I came across it. I think if I try and remember, it was purely just like seeing that little TikTok logo, like the watermark on like Facebook, or watching a content creator on YouTube do like some React videos. And eventually I got curious about it. I downloaded the app. I got absolutely addicted. I posted a couple of videos, and straight away from there, the rest was history. And essentially my content just encompasses me filming the process, documenting the process of a repair, start, middle, and finish kind of thing. And a little bit of other stuff in between, but 99% of it's just my work.
Well, listen, okay, so I've binge watched your videos. Before we started recording, you made fun of me because you're like, I've researched you because you researched me. And so like I love watching your videos because I know nothing. Like the fact that I am talking to you in a room on a computer screen, it makes no sense to me how any of this is working. Like It is so far beyond me. And I like even like deeper than this, I don't understand how electricity runs through a piece of cardboard and a couple wires, and somehow there's an image on my screen, or my air conditioning, where how literally anything works. It doesn't, it's beyond my brain. And so your videos on TikTok are just so much fun. And you don't hate on people for dropping their phone in water or having weird stuff. Some people are like so mean about like, oh, this idiot dropped their phone in their toilet, stupid. But like you go in and like you just have it seems like you have so much fun doing what you do. And I really enjoyed watching your videos. And so you're one of the first people that actually reached out to beyond like my friend circle to talk to, because it just seems like you have so much fun doing what you do. And that may be a total sham. You may hate your life and hate what you're doing.
I mean, yes. I mean, I can't say no, because that is an observation that definitely is probably accurate for a lot of people, or maybe a small amount, maybe a lot, not too sure about the percentage, but definitely there's people that project an image online that otherwise isn't their true self, I'd probably say.
All right. So that was my next question, actually. So on the podcast, we're talking all about getting past the internet. So like if somebody wanted to like know who you are beyond TikTok, who is Max? And is your full name Maximus or Maximum? Or is it just Max?
Mate, it is just Max on the birth certificate. So I don't mind. I always say this thing because often when I'm on the phone calling a customer or answer it, whatever, there's some kind of random situation where I'm meeting friends of friends, introduce myself my whole life, no matter how much I articulate it and try and pronounce it, I always get hit with a Matt. And I go, no, Max with an X. And then they go, oh, sorry. And I go, anything other than idiot's fine. I don't mind. So it's complete. Don't worry about it. But yeah, it's just Max, man.
That's awesome. All right. So who is Max beyond TikTok?
I find it to be, that's obviously a loaded question to try and surmise who you are in a couple of short, without chewing your ear off too much. But I think identifying myself as a particular thing, like first, obviously I'm a brother, I'm a son, I'm single. So not a husband or anything like that.
Okay.
Not yet, anyway.
Ladies, check him out.
Ladies, definitely. Oh, mate, I'm married to the business, to be honest with you, so maybe I'm not single. But definitely, I do definitely identify as a businessman. Not entrepreneur yet. I think entrepreneur takes more than one successful business. So once I get another one under my belt, maybe one day I can change that IG bio to entrepreneur and move on from there. But yeah, definitely just a fun loving dude that loves making content and loves building business, man.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool, man. And I'm just like, again, I'm still just blown away that this is even happening. So
no, that's fine. I think it's pretty crazy. Like, not to go off on a tangent and definitely pull me up, but there's obviously in today's day and age, and perhaps forever, there will always be this moment where the world changes. There's an impact, whether it moves from record players to CDs or whatever happens along the way, where people don't like technology disruption. And I think for all the quote unquote negatives, I mean, it's subjective depending on your situation. Technology is absolute. The idea that people like if we were 60 years in the past, this would never happen. And the idea that we have an opportunity to converse and trade ideas and have a chat, to me, I'm obviously in the field I'm in, I'm going to be biased to tech, but I'm absolutely obsessed with it, man. So I'm right on the same page as you.
All right. Can I tell you a story you may understand, may not understand? But in Orlando, which is in Florida here, I'm in Florida. There is the Disney World. And so at Disney World, they have a park called Epcot. And one of their rides is all about how we as humans through history have communicated. So like they talk about like the invention of writing and like cave paintings and the invention of the printing press and stuff. And in like the mid 90s, I went with my family and they had they're like, and this is how we're going to communicate in the future. And they showed like these people talking to each other, like with a video camera on top of a huge tube TV and like talking to each other via the TV. And I remember like in my brain thinking, that's never going to happen. That's so stupid. Never, not in a million years.
What about Star Trek? Scotty beam me up. Don't you see that stuff and go, oh yeah, one day.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm more of a Jetsons man myself.
I get you. I don't watch Star Trek either, so it's just one of those things from pop culture that you can reference. But no, even when you mention something like that, the one that comes to my mind, even though I didn't really get deep about it and question it, is Back to the Future, man. Like Back to the Future, it has some hits where it absolutely like predicted it correctly. Like they've got Skype calls. The dad working from home when I can't remember the exact scene, but he's got his boss on the big widescreen at home and he's having a chat. Absolutely hit it. And and then of course other ones like the 3D projection of the shark coming out and eating Marty McFly. Like that stuff isn't here yet, but I do believe all that stuff's hands down. Maybe not hoverboards. We need to do something about hoverboards, don't we?
Listen, I'm here on hoverboards. One of my life's dreams is to just like, if I want to take off and fly somewhere, just take off and fly by myself. And so if we have to start with hoverboards, I'm here for it.
So you're keen. You're an advocate for people one day just being able to willy-nilly fly?
Why not? Like if you ask me what I want my superpower to be.
Okay.
Like if I could have the superpower to fly, that sounds fantastic. Or like scoot around somewhere. Like if it's like in the end of the movie with all the cars, that seems fun. So
I thought you were more coming across the idea of everyone having flying vehicles or something. And to me, we call them indicators over here. I'm pretty sure you guys call them turn signals. People don't even know how to use those correctly on the road. And I just picture a bunch of people flying around. I'm like, I don't like the idea of, it's not a nice idea, I don't think.
One day, listen, we didn't think the video call was going to work. Maybe we'll figure that out too.
Sure.
Get it all figured out.
100%.
All right. So here on the podcast, we do things in a couple rounds. This is the first date round. So if I was to take you out on a fancy dinner to Outback Steakhouse, they say they say the best way to get to know somebody is through asking like good questions. So not just like, do you like dogs, but just more important things. And so these are just kind of fun questions to get things started. But let's get it going. Okay.
Sure. 100%.
So, as far as I can tell, like you seem like a pretty normal dude, but at the same time, geographically, we couldn't be further apart. And so I wonder if like the change in space makes a change in this kind of thing. But what's on your bucket list?
So a bucket list to me, when I think about something like that, it's there's things like, for example, something that I'll always bring up, like one day when I've got lots of like when I say play money, I mean funds to the point where it doesn't matter. You don't have to be too responsible. But things like one day getting like a parachuting license and perhaps even like a wingsuit kind of thing like that. Like I see clips of that, and that's really cool. Obviously, lots of travel and stuff like that as well. I think that's pretty generic to say, I just want to travel around. But in general, like if I think about where do I want to be in 20 years or what do I want to achieve before my time's up, honestly, there's nothing that jumps to mind where I'm like, I need to achieve that in X amount of time. I'm very happy with my current situation. If you were to say to me, even though I am, and I say that truthfully, if you were to say, if you're in the same spot now in 10 years, would you be happy? I'd be devastated. Very much not progress for the sake of progress, but things are variety's a spice of life. And again, referring to that business personality of mine, the idea that business doesn't increase. And I'm not just talking about a dollar sense because not to get too political about it, but I don't think just making money and being a forever profitable company is all that's important. It definitely does matter in some cases, but really bucket list stuff, like I'm mentioning, parachuting, travel, all those kind of, that's awesome. But I'm really, really more so the kind of person that doesn't really get too dreamy about that kind of stuff, and very much tries to stay in the moment and just make sure that that I'm doing the things that make me happy. Get out of bed on the right side every morning and just be stoked and just attack it, you know? Does that make
awesome,
sense?
Man. Yeah. I thought you were going to say like go to the Lord of the Rings spot in New Zealand or something cool like that, but that's way better.
Honestly, like that parachuting thing is to me, to the idea, I've been skydiving a couple of times, but tandem, of course. The idea that the rush that I get, like how exciting. Have you ever been?
Just once.
Did you enjoy it?
I really did. It was fun.
This is what I mean. That door opening and your feet dangling over the side is unreal, but it's a little bit constricting, the feeling that you're not the one doing it. And I think it'd be so dope to jump out of a plane by yourself and obviously responsibly know what you're doing. And then the next step, of course, is all those videos that you see of people base jumping off the side of cliffs or otherwise using wingsuits. That stuff to me is unreal. And then again, like other things that pop in my mind is just one day having a really sick boat and just being able to cruise around. I used to do a bit of recreational diving. It was my first job outside of high school. I'd take people diving on the Great Barrier Reef, if you're familiar with it. And the idea that one day,
no joke. Like if you were going to ask me the same question back, like I was thinking about it and I thought this is my legitimate thought for my bucket list, like just add something to it. Like thinking with you in mind, I was thinking it would be really cool to like snorkel or dive around the Great Barrier Reef. And it's so insane.
I mean, not the Great Barrier Reef, but is there an opportunity in the States to go snorkeling or dive? You guys don't have reef, do you?
Not really, not the same. Like you guys have the market cornered on Great Barrier Reefs. But no, just like not even like I've snorkeled here in the States and that's fun, but like that's like a world wonder. So to me, I was thinking that would be a really cool bucket list to add doing that.
Sure.
I'm not a great swimmer. Is that a problem?
the thing, so snorkeling, obviously you can have like some kind of floaties on you. It might not be exactly trendy or fashionable, but you could use some kind of noodle or whatever if you're a little bit worried about swimming. But the cool thing about scuba diving, especially if you're with someone that is confident with taking you on what we call or what the industry calls a introductory dive. That's where you've got someone who's qualified that takes you under the water. All you've got to do is breathe. Don't hold your breath, just breathe. If you can breathe, you can dive. So you don't have to worry about swimming when it comes to that stuff. But yeah, that's particularly a remarkable thing to do. No matter how many times you do it, it's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. So I completely understand that being on your page as well. But yeah, the idea of one day having my own boat where I could just willy-nilly go island hopping, because where I do live is the heart of it's marketed as the heart of the Great Barrier Reef. It's such a big organism, obviously, that runs up right up the East Coast. But the idea that one day I could have a lush boat, have my friends around me, go diving, do a bit of fishing, bit of drinking, just have a good time kind of thing like that. Man. That's awesome. But I'm very simple. There's nothing grandiose where I'm like, one day I want to go do Mount Everest. But even just saying that to contradict myself, I'm like, that sounds dope as well. So, it's one of those things where I'm like, sure, why not? I'm keen for everything, man. The idea that you don't want to experience something, like obviously excluding negative things. We don't want to get our heart broken too many times, etc. But the idea that people limit themselves and go, no, I don't want to do that, I'm fear. I totally understand being scared or otherwise not wanting to experience something. But again, that variety and experience is the spice of life, man. So keen for all of it.
All right, last one in this first date round. What movies are hitting you over there? Like, what is your favorite movie? What's a movie that's like really kind of like impacted you, changed the way you think, that kind of stuff?
So definitely not current. You're not just talking about what the trend is, what I'm seeing at the moment. You're talking about if I think of a movie like all-time greatest hits kind of thing. Yeah. I'm a massive Eminem fan, so it's totally biased. But 8 Mile to me is I literally only rewatched it the other day. I haven't seen it for so many years, but I'm sitting here doing my work and I thought I was just like, I consumed all the podcasts and all the kind of content that I had relevant at the moment. And then that popped up and I chucked that on again. But more so than that, like the movies that if I was to think about like what mattered to me and what has like some kind of sentimental value would be like the old school Jim Carrey movies. So like things like Ace Ventura and The Mask and stuff like that. These are movies that when I was young, like I think The Mask, I probably could get corrected on this. I'm a 92 model, and I think The Mask came out somewhere between 90 and 95, somewhere around that area.
Yeah, so, something in there.
Yeah, so I just remember that movie, like, yeah, it was just one of those sentimental ones. So, and on leading onto that, the comedies, man, like a proper comedy. I find that, especially again, not getting political, but obviously the world is forever changing, and there's a lot of nuances. And I find that certain categories shouldn't be joked about, and otherwise aren't being joked about anymore. But those kind of old school comedies that have in that time. Again, like Ace Ventura's and The Mask and stuff like that. They're just they're a different kind of movie. Like if you put out that movie today, it would be a flop. It would be any one of, I mean, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm jumping the gun.
I don't know that they like, especially like The Mask and Ace Ventura, they were just like a certain kind of silly. And so it was just fun for fun's sake. And so like you could watch that and just enjoy it. And that's something to enjoy.
And even on that, leading on that, any Jim Carrey movie, even some of his, I mean, obviously he's not really too predominant anymore. Like I think Sonic was his last one, and then before that it's been a couple of years or something like that. Yeah. But even some of the ones that I see people like shoot down, like Fun with Dick and Jane, if you've ever seen that.
I never did.
People would shoot it down and they'll say, oh, this was a flop. Unfortunately, this isn't a good Jim Carrey. I love them. All of them. They're all good. But
so your two favorite actors are Eminem and Jim Carrey.
I can't say, I know, it's very different. I can't say Eminem's my favorite. He's only ever been in as a main role in that one movie. But sure. 8 Mile, like I said, it's just particularly, despite some of the content, particularly that Eminem has had in the past and even currently, to me, there's something about rap that is, to me, achieves something that other music doesn't achieve.
So let's just switch gears for a second. Are you a rap fan? Is that what I'm picking up on?
Massive.
If you're in your car, what are you playing?
I'll cycle through. A majority of it will be hip hop rap. Okay. And when I say hip hop, I'm not talking like R&B, like Chris Brown and stuff like that. I mean, like anything that, whether it's your old school, like your NWA and Ice Cube, stuff like that, all the way up to modern stuff, even where MGK and stuff like that. Again, someone who's quite a controversial figure these days, going into the pop pump. Yeah, no, exactly. But rap and hip hop, man, I'm massive.
That's cool that you found that for you. You know, like there's so my wife, you and my wife would be best friends in the car together listening to music. Rap's never been my thing, and it's not that it's bad or anything. There's a few things that I like. There's some old Tupac that gets me going.
So and this is what I mean. I mentioned like NWA and Ice Cube, and then yourself, you mentioned Tupac, and it's just like straight away, it's just like, again, it's just that social commentary as well, that someone like that to me is a modern day, for his era, a modern day poet, and someone who really had a lot to say about the times and stuff like that. And I think, it's absolutely unreal. So what would be your favorite genre of music? What do you get into? What's playing in the car?
So I like, I'm more on the rock side, but, I like bands like U2, Coldplay. I like old white people music. That's where I sit. And so where you like rap, and like rap gets you in the emotions, that's what gets me in the feels, you know? So
isn't that funny though, that, I mean, to me, I've never heard a Coldplay song or a U2 or anything that's moved me. But when you say that it does invoke those same things, you're saying, hey, when I listen to that music, the same way you're describing rap, that moves me in that way.
Mm-hmm.
I find
absolutely.
That's so cool, dude. I really do. Because to me, I don't think I've ever had a conversation like this before, but I don't think I've, that just to me is a totally different response. So I think that's really, it's really cool, dude. But I get it.
Yeah. The thing that's fun, so this is getting deeper than I was planning to on the question about movies and music. But the thing is, like, I don't understand people that they can't let other people enjoy what they want to enjoy. Like, so like, I like U2, you like rap, and that's okay. It's like, it's not like I like ice cream, and you don't like ice cream, so we can't be friends, but just, hey, let's enjoy our stuff and be happy together.
I totally get it. And you know what? There's nothing wrong. And to me, like you asked the question, what's generally playing? It definitely is rap and hip hop. But that's not to say when a banger comes out by like Ed Sheeran or something like that, or whoever it is that has that number one hit. Even Justin Bieber, I was a believer back in the day before it was trendy to do it. When all my mates were saying, no, he's lame and whatever. Maybe on the down low, but I was definitely getting into it kind of thing.
All right, so moving on. So that was the first date round. How was that date? Treat you all right?
Mate, I'd definitely give you a second shot.
Okay.
But I hope that maybe I'm shooting my shot too quick. I hope that the feelings are returned.
Oh, absolutely. You're a handsome young man. All right. So
I appreciate it, dude. Short of a haircut.
Listen, you're going for that early 2000s Belieber look. So
yeah, I'm just going for that. I don't get around. I shave it off. It gets real short, and then I let it grow out. And I'm not productive with a haircut. Doing it once every 4 weeks, not my thing. But I get you. I appreciate you saying I'm handsome. You're good looking as well, dude. Don't worry.
Oh, stop. All right. So moving on, we are in, this is what we call the slow round. These are a little bit more, even though we've already started diving deeper, these are a little deeper than, do you like movies or do you like music? So, all right. So, you guys are coming up on summertime. We're actually moving into winter right now. But, like from being a kid, do you have any like favorite summertime memories?
Sure. So, like you said, we're obviously on other ends of the earth. So our summertime's Christmas and stuff like that. If I reflect on a particular memory or set of memories, it would always be, perhaps when I was younger, I wouldn't say this, but looking back at it, it's definitely those Christmas days and all that generic stuff that you could probably say to sound right. So when my mum sees this, she gets the butterflies and the rest of it. But definitely those moments with family, man, that you can't ever you can't replace them. So school holidays, that feeling when you wake up, we have a thing, or we used to have a thing on free-to-air telly called Saturday Disney, which was just a run of cartoons. So on one channel, you would have like video hits, which would play just like your top 40 music videos at the time or whatever was going on. And then on the kids channel side of things, whether it's a completely separate channel, you'd have Saturday Disney. And that feeling, I haven't felt it in my adult life, but that feeling of waking up in the morning and feeling it's a Saturday and it's just this no weight on your shoulders, get up and have some Vegemite on toast kind of thing like that. Those kind of mornings on school break over the summer towards Christmas and around Christmas and stuff like that, they're my favorite memories, man, thinking about it. And of course, all the stuff with friends, school holidays with friends and stuff like that as well.
That's cool. So yeah, you just got like those best family memories, Christmas time, break time. That's like, did you guys do you know what the TV show Bluey is?
Bluey's a dog, isn't he?
It's a girl, but yes. So it's a kid's show, and
Bluey's a girl in it. Bluey's not the dog.
She is a dog. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
But that it's like in my family, it is huge. And so, it's a kid's show, but it's honestly, it's a kid's show for adults. Like the parents in it are awesome, but this is totally going off the rails. But they have an episode about Christmas, and it's just so funny because like here, like everything Christmas is snow and like Santa is on a sleigh and I don't know if Santa's on the beach for you guys or if you guys even have Santa, but
the marketing is off, isn't it? We've got Santa we've got Santa in his gumboots and his thick red and white jumpsuit. I don't even know what you would call it. Mate, if he's coming, we don't even have chimneys where I'm from because we don't have fireplaces. It's too hot up here. But yeah, the marketing is off is what I'm trying to say.
But yeah, for us, Santa or like Christmas is cold. Or I live in Florida. It's hot here all the time too. We don't get cold ever either. But
you got big snakes as well, and alligators everywhere, don't you?
Not as much. Let's not get onto animals because you guys have like scary animals on lock. All right. So
yeah, fair enough. I'll back off. But yeah, no, it's thinking about that. First of all, I don't know if it doesn't snow in Florida. You're saying it's always hot?
No, it's I think we're in the like low 30s Celsius here. So
okay. Yeah, if you talk Fahrenheit, man, I get so confused with that stuff. I'm 30 years old. I've never seen snow my whole life.
No?
So no, never. So it snows down in New South Wales, which is the next state down, and then Victoria and Tasmania, and maybe South Australia. That's rubbish of me to not know that. But where I'm from, man, Queensland, no snow, one bit whatsoever. So yeah, again, the marketing is off. But when you think about Christmas, you're thinking hot, especially where I'm from, because it's tropical, hot and humid weather. Board shorts, drinking beer, having seafood, and just a kid pool set up in the backyard or something, a sprinkler kind of thing like that, you know?
Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's what I was trying to get at. I was wondering, like, because on that Bluey show, like they're at the pool on Christmas, and so for you guys, it's just it's a beach day for you.
Oh, 100%. Bluey is an Australian cartoon, then.
It is.
Oh,
so,
really? Yeah. I didn't know that.
It got picked up by Disney here, and it's like it's pretty big as far as like kids TV shows go right now because it's so stinking good. All right, let's quit talking about Christmas, quit talking about Bluey, and keep it moving. All right, so you're a busy dude, and you've got your business you're running. You've got, it seems like, a busy life, a full life. What are you doing? What habits have you put in place to take care of yourself?
Sure. So I'm not infallible. I make mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
But I think, again, when I said earlier in this conversation, is when I started the business quite young, and I said that it doesn't matter whether it takes me till 50, 60, hopefully I'll work it out by then. I truly mean that. So it's okay to make mistakes and the rest of it. But the main thing that I find is in order to be responsible and keep things maintained and everything, a tight ship running, it just comes down to exactly that, which is responsibility and accountability. And being aware, self-aware, and fixing problems where you have them. I find if I was to critique myself, I definitely don't. I'm getting way better, but I have problems with time management, and doing things efficiently. Sometimes I can be what I call a busy idiot, where I'm doing a lot but not achieving much when I'm trying to do many things. So it's a work in progress, man. So the things that I'm doing to be able to fix that is just being aware of it and hopefully be able to put things in play. I find, especially like when I started the business, it didn't require me to have set like times or to have like some kind of flow of some kind of organization. It was literally just make things happen in the day, finish them before the end of the day, and whatever isn't, move it on to the next day. But it's at the stage now where there's too much on my plate to be able to do that, and I've definitely put systems in play. I've got 2 people that work for me part-time. They are a massive help. Like, I wouldn't be in the position I am without them. I'd be drowning big time. But it's just a work in progress, man. I think it's a really nuanced thing to talk about, and I think there's always improvement to make. But it just really comes down to setting routine and going by that routine, following that structure. Everything starts, it sounds quite cliche, but everything needs a good structure, whatever it is, whether it's diet, sleep, exercise, family, friends, everything needs a solid foundation. And then on top of that, you can build a good structure and then routine, and hopefully good routine, which forms habits, which makes that whole process go easier. And with that, success, subjective success, of course, depending on what your goals are and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. So in my creepy stalking of you, trying to figure out who you are, I scrolled all the way through your Instagram and saw you posted a progress picture of like really skinny you and then like crazy buff you. So ladies, if you're looking for some eye candy, check that out. But yeah, so it looks like you started hitting the gym, and like, what was that for you? How did you turn that around for yourself?
Sure. So crazy buff. Don't oversell it. We should say appropriately better than I was. Better than
Listen,
I was.
I thought it was Hugh Jackman, and they switched your face off of Hugh.
Get out of it. Get out of it. I'm very much a more baby face. Hugh Jackman has that masculine, stereotypical dude look. I'm more trying to pull off this baby face. This younger aesthetic. Look, again, I'm even right now, it's something that I'm struggling with. I find that maintaining social relationships, and in your personal life. So whether that's your friends or love interests or whatever it is, your business, and then looking after yourself. I find these are three things that are really hard for me to achieve all at once, like consistently. So what I mean by that is if I'm looking after my diet and sleep and I'm exercising, I find that one of those other two things really, really get sacrificed because it's quite hard. And this is something that I'm struggling with today and I'm still trying to work on. And look, you can't, again, like I mentioned before, you've got to hold yourself accountable and be aware of what your problems are. So it's not to the point where I'm beating myself up about it, but I'm just hyper aware that is the case. But when it comes to that exercise, right now, I'm not on a good train with it. Like I'm healthy. I'm definitely healthy. But at that time of that photo, I was way more in tune with being selfish with my own fitness goals and stuff like that. But along with that, when I made that change, that's when I took that picture. And the journey was essentially identifying that there's an issue there. And again, to call myself out right now, I've done it about 4 or 5 times, not to that extreme. At the start of the year, over my Christmas break, because I had 3.5 weeks off from work where I just enjoy my family and friends, etc. because the rest of the time I am pretty busy with work. I decided that I was going to invest in a home gym. I stuck at that again for the start of the year for a good couple of months and now fallen off the bandwagon in the last 3 months again, 4 months or so, if I'm being totally honest. So I've gone through this health journey, the fitness journey side of things about 4 or 5 times in my life where I'm inconsistently not able to achieve it. And again, what I'm referencing before between maintaining a healthy social life and a healthy business life and myself, excluding the friends and fitness, that's something that I've struggled with. So right now, if I was to critique myself, I'd say I'm being completely exactly where I want to be in a business sense, accountable, structured, routine, and killing it in this contemporary situation. But when it comes to friends, my friend hit me up 2 weeks ago to jump on a game of Apex Legends to just jump with him. I said, I'll talk to you soon. Haven't hit him up, haven't spoken to him. So right now my friend circle's getting which isn't a drama. We go through these phases, but also the fitness stuff. So I find that moment, I was really good with being physically healthy and everything like that. And not to keep giving you a long-winded answer here. It's not that I'm being bad at the moment. It's just that I'm hyper-focused on the business side of things now. And I objectively struggle. Like it's a truth that I struggle with maintaining those 3 things in life. I don't know if it's the same for you. There's a lot of people I talk to that seem to think that it's not a drama and other people that totally agree with me. So it's a hard thing, man.
It is rap and rock and roll. Like everybody's got their stuff that they're trying to figure out, you know? So your things are rap and mine are rock and roll. So, and I think kind of what it comes down to is like, it's just where you're placing your priorities at a different time. Like people always try to talk about balance and how they're trying to get balance in their life. And I don't know if that ever fully works out for anybody. But you have priorities and you're just pursuing those priorities. And so, for sure. I'm proud of you for making some good choices and for trying to take steps in the right direction and for being self-aware enough to know when you're not hitting those. And
for sure. And that feeling you get, what's a real big shame is while I'm talking about this right now, it does make me go, oh, this is how I genuinely feel about it in my heart. And it makes me want to go work out straight away.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So that kind of leads us to our last question on the slow round here. But what would your best friend say is your absolute best quality? Like what is max? Like what is pinnacle max?
It's a hard one because I can say things that are objectively true about myself. Like I'm a positive dude. I'm loyal, trustworthy and stuff like that. But I'd probably say it's a bit of an oxymoron. I'd probably say that I'm obnoxiously loud, happy for a chat, life of the party, quote unquote, like not me actually saying that that's how I am, but I would say other people say that about me. But the reason why I say it's an oxymoron is the people that are probably my detractors don't like that loud, obnoxious side of me, that they go, that dude's too full on. But I definitely say that the same way that when I put out content, I think that that's objectively why I'm successful at what I do in that regard, because I am loud and I'm happy to put myself out there. So I think that's I would have to ask them, but I would think that that's what they would say. You're annoying, you're loud, but we love you for it, essentially, kind of thing like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think every friend group needs the person that's gonna like put themselves out there and like be the person that gets things going and makes things fun. So,
and the great thing about having a friend like that, you have to deal with them on a Friday night, Saturday morning, and then you go, see you later. And you get your peace again. So it's not bad, you know?
If you had to ask me, or if you're asking me based on the last 45 minutes we've been talking, I think it seems like you are a kind and thoughtful person. And so if that makes any difference in how you feel about yourself, then
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I think it's important to be kind. Thoughtful is obviously not a bad quality. It's not hard. It's not hard at all to just be genuinely happy and try and be kind to people. You know, I would encourage anyone to be like that. So, but I do appreciate it very much, Lee.
I'm so happy for you that you found that thing for you. You know, you found your rap, you found your business, and you found the things that like make you come alive. And so that's awesome. All right. So this is the very last round. I call it the common ground round. It's a round where I try to find out if maybe like we've covered a bunch of broad topics and a bunch of silly stuff in the middle. But I want to know, like, maybe like, are we the exact same on a few specific things? So do you got your cards there with you?
I definitely do. I'm prepared.
All right. You look at you. All right. So I'm going to give you a couple of this or that things, and we'll write them down and then reveal them at the same time. Sound good?
Okay. The only thing I'll ask is my writing. Are we going to fill up these cards really quick? Because my writing, or is it one word per sheet, or am I going to?
It's going to be one word a sheet.
Awesome. I've got the answer. I'm sitting here going, do I have to write real small? My writing's terrible as well. I'm not a doctor, but I do fix devices, and my writing is atrocious. So no judgment. Please skip this
0.
part.
And once you see my handwriting, you're going to feel A-okay, man. I promise. Okay.
Not a drama at all.
When you go to the beach or the pool, are you more excited about swimming or sunbathing? You got your answer down over there?
Sure do.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. What you got? I put swimming. Hey, look at you. Yeah, me too, man.
I love it. If sunbathing, come on. No contest.
All right. This one is childhood you. Would you rather have hung out with a robot or a dinosaur? Robot or dinosaur? You ready over there?
Yeah, I sure am.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. What you got? I got robot.
Dinosaur. Oh, man. Come on. Are you kidding me? No, and I wouldn't even matter if it was a vicious one. I think they're all cool. But it's weird, isn't it? Actually, that's such a strange question, because you'd think someone like myself would say robot, but dinosaur for sure, man.
See, my thing is this, like, dinosaurs, like the thought of them just scares the poop out of me. Like very large reptiles, no thank you. Like I don't like, and like now they're saying they were covered in feathers, so it's big birds. I don't like small birds.
Just think of a chicken, man. A chicken that
chickens are terrifying. What are you talking about?
They are terrifying. I'm very aware of this. But yeah, think of a big chicken. I get where you're coming from though. I think it's a rational fear.
I feel good about my answer. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
This one I feel like is going to be easy for you, and we're going to be the same on this one. When it comes to phones, you going Android or iPhone? I shouldn't even have to ask, or I think I shouldn't even have to ask. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. iPhone.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
I even did it with the small I and the big P. I know. It is such...
I did the same. Look at me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Man, branding, hey, isn't that a powerful thing? Steve Jobs and everything he's contributed, some people say that it wasn't him. He was just literally commanding people to do it all. But what a product, hey? Whether you're sucked in by the marketing or not, what a product.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah. I am very much bought in on the Apple ecosystem. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, never, ever. I absolutely sold by it.
All right. When it comes to food, would you rather go for sweet or savory? This is a tough one for me because I very much enjoy both.
Oh, man. Right. I've just realized how. Yep. I just gave it away. Don't mean to do that. I said savory. How do you spell savory, though?
According to this paper in front of me, it is Savory.
I put Savori, and then I went like legit, and then I'm like, no, it's a Y. It's an I. And then that's why I went, how do you spell I was like, oh, man, got to call myself out. But savory, man.
I wonder if, and this is just me thinking out loud, I wonder if the British version or the Aussie version of it has a U in it. Savory. You never know.
We definitely, is it you guys that wreck everything there that like to do it your own way?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No,
Let's go with that. Is it just to be different? Americans, man, you guys love to do you, don't you? You don't follow anyone. Actually, let's say that you're the trendsetters of the world. You guys set the trend.
We are trailblazers, all right. You just calm it down. All right, this is the last one, and I wrote this one with Australians in mind. Long story short, I have a friend that lived in Australia for 3 or 4 years, and I called her and asked her. I was like, I need like something that's like genuine Australian to ask this guy, and I don't want to sound like a complete idiot. So, would you rather Saturday morning have a piece of fairy bread or Vegemite toast? I don't really have a real answer for this. So
have you had either?
I've had a version of fairy bread, but not true Aussie styles. All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. What you got?
Vegemite toast.
I want fairy bread just because.
Can I? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Explain it to us Americans.
So this is what I was going to say. The problem is the marketing, or not even the marketing. Every time I see an American, anyone outside of Australia talk about Vegemite and trash it, it's almost you guys just aren't doing it right. I want to say this so kindly. Look, when I have peanut butter and toast, it will be like 80% peanut butter and 20% toast. So it's thick. It's like I'm building a castle out of peanut butter. Now, Vegemite is the other end of things, and I'm not even saying 20% Vegemite. The best way, the max recommendation to all you and all your American viewers, listeners, is mix in the Vegemite. Do you guys use like margarine and butter when you're making a sandwich?
No, I feel like Vegemite's like its own kind of category. Whereas
when you make a sandwich though, do you put any like margarine, butter, anything like that as a base?
So I don't personally. I like everything as plain as possible. Like just put meat and cheese on the sandwich and call it a day. But normal people that aren't me put like mayonnaise and mustard and those kind of things. But I guess that's as close. We don't put butter though. That's not like a normal sandwich thing or margarine.
Unreal. So if I just did what you suggested, just grab meat and salad or whatever and just chucked it on bread. To me, that's a really dry experience. Like the bread texture and the rest of it's just not enjoyable.
People here hate me for it. You can hate me for it over there if you want to, but it's just the way I do things. Let me be.
No, I get it. But what I was going to say is my recommendation for Vegemite, and that's why I asked about the butter and margarine, is particularly for me, I like to blend. It takes a little bit of finesse that you blend the Vegemite in with the butter, and then you have a mixture of about 50-50 butter and Vegemite, but a very small amount, and then you put it over. The other way to have Vegemite proper, that's so back in my day, if I think about it being young and my dad or mum preparing breakfast for me, you'd get a slice of bread, put Vegemite over it, and you cut them into what Australians call soldiers, where you strip up the bread.
Okay.
So it's like a it's long,
like a centimeter thick thing and long.
Long and rectangle shape essentially. So you've got like 4 or 5 sections out of the one piece of bread. You have a soft boiled egg that you crack open the top. So I'm
already on
yolk,
there. Let's go.
So the yolk is runny. And what you do with the Vegemite, the thin bit of Vegemite in those soldiers, is you dunk it into the egg and then eat it.
Okay.
And that to me is another way. And toast in general, but you can't have crispy toast. I don't know how you like your toast, like completely black and charred. The way I like my toast is to get it to a point where it's just cooking and then you pop it. So it's still very, very, it's a crispy kind of bread.
Warm bread.
It's got to have a little bit of brown to it, mate. And you put a bit of Vegemite on that. Man, it's so good. So good. And that's my main gripe. When people sit there with these reaction videos of tasting Vegemite for the first time and they grab like a spoonful of it. No, it's not what you do, mate. It's not what you do.
All right. And just for, I can imagine almost none of my listeners know what fairy bread is. Fairy bread is just bread and butter and like sprinkles, right? Does that sound right?
Sure. So I don't know if we call sprinkles the same thing. We would call them hundreds and thousands. That's
what my friend told me to call them. So
hundreds and thousands, which is just like it's sugar. Essentially, just in colored form, and you sprinkle it over bread. Fairy bread is a really common thing to have. I mean, I don't know anymore because I'm 30 and it's been quite some time. But if you're at a birthday party when you're 8, the mum, the dad, the party goer, if you've got a table there, you'll have a box, a bowl of lollies, a bowl of Doritos, bowl of salt and vinegar chips, kind of thing like that. Chips being potato crisps. I don't know. Is that what you call them?
You did good.
Okay, cool. So we'd have all that. And then there would, of course, be fairy bread there, which, again, is hundreds of thousands. Butter to obviously hold the hundreds of thousands on the bread. It's awesome as a kid, but no. Bread's claggy. Bread's not a very good thing, in my opinion, to eat in a large quantity. And then hundreds of thousands it should not be part of your staple diet.
But it's good for a birthday party every now and again.
When you're 8, if I brought it out at my birth, if I invited all my friends around for a birthday party and I brought out hundreds of thousands, I think they'd question my sanity. 100%.
Oh man, Max, this has been so much fun. For people like me before TikTok who haven't like bumped into you yet, or they want to follow you, where's the best place to get to follow you on the internet? Sure. So it's generally the same across all platforms, which is just Max Hawker, MaxHawker. So whether that's on TikTok, recently, even though it's a bit controversial with everyone being upset at Instagram, I haven't been the massive Instagram user. I only set up an account 3 years ago or something like that. And I've maybe had like 7 or 8 posts on there. But recently with the videos, obviously I use it to repurpose my TikToks and stuff like that. But predominantly I'm on TikTok. I definitely, again, with the accountability and trying to maintain my goals in life and my aspirations, I also have a YouTube channel, which is Max Hawker. Very, very limited content on there. But again, my aspiration with that is to be more aggressive and definitely get out more content on a regular basis, including not similar to yours, but including a podcast, man. I love the idea of doing a like diary kind of format. So once a week, once every couple of days, whatever it is, the time frame, sit down and just talk about the bad stuff in life, the good stuff, what's funny, pop culture, whatever it is, and do that kind of stuff. But YouTube, Instagram, all of it's just going to be Max Hawker. And you can always just Google Max Hawker. Not that there's just not any other Max Hawkers out there, so you're not going to get lost, but definitely you'll find me that way as well. Please let me know when that podcast comes out. I'll be your first fan. I'll be your first follower. I'm excited for it, man. Obviously, I can talk underwater with marbles in my mouth, man. So hopefully I'll be able to be make it happen. I do appreciate it though, man. I believe in you. You got this. Max, thank you so much. And for all you listening, thank you for joining us today on Maybe You're Like Me. Can't wait to see you next week as we talk to Hugh Jackman. We're just going to stick with the Australian theme. Unreal. But so you've gone from me to Hugh mate, I love it. A huge step down for me. I started on the top and come on.